I change cars like other guys change their fucking shoes!
While researching and writing my master film, I found myself constantly returning to the same kind of character. Men who don't speak. Men who carry their struggles alone. Men who are convinced they have to endure their pain in silence. Men who feel deeply but seem unable to translate that pain into words. At first, I thought I had stumbled onto something original, but the deeper I looked, the more I realized cinema has always been fascinated by these men. In recent years, internet culture even gave them a name. The "it's literally me" character. The lonely man, the outsider, the man who doesn't fit into the world around him. Until, under enough pressure, something breaks. And usually when something breaks, it breaks outward. Violence. Anger. Rebellion. Destruction aimed at the world. Some of the most iconic films ever made are built around this pattern. What fascinated me the most wasn't that these characters existed, but that so many people saw themselves in them. Not because these men are heroic, but because they are recognizable. And that recognition points to something deeper. But the more I researched these characters, the more another question started to emerge. What about the men who never explode? What about the men who implode? The men whose pain becomes silence? The men who don't destroy the world around them, but slowly destroy themselves through repetition, isolation, and escape. This essay explores those men. Through 3 films, Manchester by the Sea, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Aftersun, I will explore 3 different forms of masculine silence and some of the emotional struggles beneath them: guilt, ego, and disillusionment. This is The Circles of Men Who Don't Speak. I chose these 3 films because each of them represents a different form of masculine silence. 3 men carrying 3 different wounds, finding 3 different ways to escape pain. Yet all of them share the same fundamental inability to translate their inner suffering into verbal language. Some of them are better at hiding it than others. Some are better at surviving it than others. But all of them fall into the same pattern: depressive cycles of repetition, isolation, and escape. Cycles that slowly consume them and shape the lives around them. Together, they form 3 variations of the same emotional pattern. Chapter 1. Lee Chandler. Guilt. Manchester by the Sea presents perhaps the clearest form of masculine silence: guilt. Lee Chandler is the product of an irreversible mistake. A man shaped by the traditional expectation of being the provider, the protector, the backbone of the family. But when Lee accidentally leaves the fireplace burning and loses his children in the fire, all that remains is not just grief, but shame. The shame left by those expectations. After the accident, Lee's first instinct is escape. He leaves his wife, removes himself from Manchester, isolates himself, and builds a life of emotional distance far away from the place that carries his trauma, a place to rot. But when his brother dies unexpectedly, Lee is forced back into the very place he tried to escape. And with that comes responsibility. His nephew, a second chance at care, a second chance at family. And Lee rejects it.
Do you want to be his guardian?
Well,
He doesn't want to be my guardian, for Christ's sake.
He's got we're trying to lose some kids at this point.
No.
Not because he doesn't care, but because guilt has convinced him he is fundamentally unfit for love, care, and responsibility. Throughout the film, Lee repeatedly searches for ways out. He distances himself from responsibility.
We're not gonna be here that much longer.
I'm not moving to Boston, Uncle Lee.
No, I don't want to talk about that
You
right
said he
now.
left you money so you could move.
Yeah, that doesn't mean...
Anyway, what's in Boston? You're a janitor.
He sabotages connection.
Hi, are you Lee? I'm Jill, Sandy's mom. I think they're wrapping up. You want to come inside and have a beer or something?
Oh. That's alright. Thank you.
He provokes violence.
What the fuck are you looking at me for?
Hey, take a fucking walk. No, don't apologize to this asshole. Take a fucking hike.
Seriously.
He avoids forgiveness.
I don't want to torture you.
You're not torturing me.
I just want to tell you that I was wrong.
No. You understand, there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
That's not true. That's
There's
not
nothing there. I'm
true.
serious. You don't understand. And I don't
Of
know
course
what
I
this...
do.
I know you understand. I've gotta go. I'm sorry.
At one point, he even attempts suicide. All of these actions point toward the same emotional pattern: escape as self-punishment.
You're still a minor. You can't run a commercial vessel by yourself. Meanwhile, it's a big fucking expense, and I'm the one that's gonna manage it, and I'm not gonna be here.
Who gives a fuck where you are?
Patty, I swear to God, I'm gonna knock your fucking block off.
The clearest moment of this comes in the scene where Lee tells Patrick that he can't beat it.
I can't beat it. I can't beat it. I'm sorry.
This moment is crucial, not because Lee cannot explain his pain, but because it's one of the few moments where he finally does. And even then, language changes nothing. One of the best structural choices in the film is its use of repetition. The bar fights at the beginning and near the end mirror each other. Both moments function as a physical manifestation of Lee's inner state. He does not fight to win. He fights to be hurt. Violence becomes another form of punishment, a way of externalizing the guilt he carries internally. And the repetition of these moments makes one thing clear. Lee has not escaped his cycle. He has learned nothing. Although the film ends on a quieter and somewhat more hopeful note, it does not offer any resolution. Lee does not become the man the story asks him to be. Instead, he settles for survival. And in that survival, his silence remains. Chapter 2. Llewyn Davis, Ego. Inside Llewyn Davis is perhaps the clearest example of cyclical self-destruction. Where Lee Chandler's silence is rooted in guilt, Llewyn Davis's silence is rooted in ego. Llewyn is a struggling folk singer in New York, trying to build a solo career after the suicide of his musical partner. Already, the film begins with loss, but unlike Lee, Llewyn does not collapse inward through grief. He keeps moving. He keeps performing, talking, surviving, and yet despite constantly moving forward, he remains stuck. Llewyn is deeply talented. Music is the only place where he seems capable of translating emotion into something honest. But outside of music, he struggles to connect.
Kid, what are you... Bluff? I offer you this? Get the fuck out of my office.
To the world around him, he appears selfish, arrogant, and emotionally unavailable.
Or it could be Jim's.
Yes, asshole!
He relies on the kindness of friends, takes advantage of their patience, and often pushes away the very people trying to help him.
It's Mike's part.
I know what it is. Don't do that. Oh, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't do this, okay? I do this for a living. It's not a fucking parlor game.
Llewyn, please, that's unfair to Liz.
This is bullshit. I don't ask you over for dinner and then suggest you give a lecture on the peoples of Mesoamerica or whatever your pre-Columbian shit is.
Not because he feels nothing, but because his identity is entirely built around the idea that he must succeed. Failure is not just failure. It is a threat to who he is. Throughout the film, Llewyn is desperately trying to escape the reality of his own limitations. He chases opportunities, he betrays people, he rejects stability, and refuses the ordinary life that seems to await him, especially the life of his father.
You still got your Siemens papers?
Yeah, why?
Well, if the music's not...
What? Quit? Merchant Marine again? Just... exist?
Exist? Is that what we do outside of show business? It's not so bad, existing.
Like Dad?
Llewyn,
What?
you say that about your own father?
What?
That he exists?
I didn't say it. You said it.
That he
Forget it.
exists like that?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because becoming ordinary would mean accepting defeat.
Fuck.
After his emotional lowest point, after trying to surrender to an ordinary life, Llewyn is confronted with the fact that even escape has failed him.
I can't. Where am I going? Fuck. All right, well, let me get this money back then. I kept this fucking thing. I just paid my dues this morning, $148. There's a receipt.
We don't pay dues back. What are you, nuts?
I just paid it this morning. That was 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
Come on, you're telling me that I can't crew the ship and I can't get this money back?
This was money you owed your union. You Hugh Davis's kid?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's fucking great. Matter of fact, he's been asking after you.
Trapped deeper than ever in his cycle, he visits his father in a nursing home. In one of the most vulnerable moments in the film, he sings to him. Not for an audience, not for success, but for connection. It is one of the rare moments where Llewyn reaches outward, and it fails. His father cannot respond. It is reduced to a joke. The attempt at connection is met with silence. And in that moment, Llewyn is confronted with the exact future he fears: stagnation, obscurity, becoming someone forgotten.
Could I trouble you? My father had, he needs to be cleaned.
The film's structure reinforces this emotional trap. It begins and ends in almost the exact same way. Inside a bar, performing, and outside that bar, being beaten. A perfect circle. Unlike Lee, whose silence is rooted in punishment, Llewyn's cycle is rooted in denial. He cannot accept failure, and because he cannot accept it, he cannot escape it. And there he lies, watching the world move forward without him, as a new voice and a new generation take his place. Chapter 3. Callum Patterson, Disillusionment.
Oh my god, what even is that?
These are my moves.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
That's not embarrassing.
Wait, I was going to interview you.
Where were you? What were you going to interview me about?
Aftersun offers one of the most intimate portrayals of depression in contemporary cinema. Unlike previous films, Aftersun does not present Callum's wounds clearly.
She's the pretty one from Glasgow. She's stuck in my head.
Oh my god, Dad, stop!
It gives us fragments, hints, pieces to assemble. And through these fragments, a clearer image begins to form. We can deduce that Callum became a father unexpectedly young.
What's your sister's name?
Sophie.
Oh, nice.
I'm her dad, though, actually.
Oh, sorry, mate. I just thought
That's okay.
That he went through a divorce.
I mean, how are you and your mum getting along?
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Good. I'm glad.
That he's struggling financially.
No, we could get you singing lessons if you wanted to learn to sing.
Trying to tell me I can't sing?
No, I'm just saying anyone can learn if they put in the work.
Stop doing that.
Doing what?
Offering to pay for something when I know you don't have the money.
that he carries the traces of a painful childhood.
What did you do for your 11th birthday?
When I was 11, nobody remembered it was my birthday.
And most importantly, that he is not where he thought he would be at this point in his life.
I can't see myself at 40, to be honest. Surprised I made it to 30.
And that is where Callum's silence differs from Lee and Llewyn. Lee is driven by guilt, Llewyn by ego, Callum by disillusionment. A painful confrontation between expectation and reality, the realization that life did not become what you imagined. And perhaps even worse, the realization that he may never become that he cannot take care of the people he loves most, or even worse, he might let them down. What makes Callum such a fascinating character is how invisible his suffering is. To the world around him, especially his daughter Sophie, Callum appears kind, charming, playful, and deeply caring. He is the ideal father, present, loving, attentive. But this is also his coping mechanism. Callum performs happiness, not necessarily to deceive others, but to protect them. Or perhaps because he has no language for his suffering, no safe place to put it. Throughout the film, his mask begins to crack, not all at once, but gradually.
On every holiday since I was like 5.
Yeah, well, maybe you're a little old for it now, Soph.
What are you talking about, Dad? Those girls were like 50.
Okay, let it go, okay? I'll move on in a second. I'm not up for it, okay?
Mom, Dad, it's a laugh. It's just one of yours. On holiday, we're supposed to be having fun.
Sophie, I'm not doing it, okay?
Here we go.
And that is where Aftersun becomes cyclical. Unlike Manchester by the Sea or Inside Llewyn Davis, where repetition is structural and obvious, Aftersun builds its cycle through routine. Breakfast, swimming, arcades, conversation, the small rituals of holiday life. But each cycle reveals a little more of Callum's internal collapse. The first key moment comes when Callum impulsively buys Sophie an expensive rug, after she casually mentions liking it. A financially irrational decision, but emotionally revealing. In the scene, he intimately lies down on it. It feels less like a gift and more like an attempt at permanence, a memory. Something to leave behind.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
The second key moment is the crying scene. After Sophie publicly celebrates his birthday, Callum is confronted with emotions he can no longer contain. That night, he sits alone in his room and cries. The camera never shows his face, but it doesn't need to. For the first time, the performance fully disappears and only pain remains. And then finally, the ending. Here, the film strongly suggests what it's been building toward all along.
I love you. Bye.
That Callum ultimately could not survive his own cycle. Unlike Lee, who sets for survival, or Llewyn, who returns to repetition, Callum walks into disappearance. After saying goodbye to Sophie for the last time, Callum walks into the surreal liminal space that has haunted the film throughout. This scene strongly suggests and symbolizes his eventual suicide. Not because he wanted to leave Sophie, but because he could no longer stay with himself. Conclusion. At first glance, Lee Chandler, Llewyn Davis, and Callum Patterson seem like completely different men. One is haunted by guilt, one is driven by ego, one is consumed by disillusionment. Their wounds, lives, and coping are different, and yet they all arrive at the same place: silence. Not because they have nothing to say, because, frankly, most of them say a lot,
Shit, man, I need the money now.
but because what they carry has become too heavy for language. And when their pain cannot be translated into words, it looks for other ways out. For Lee, it becomes punishment. For Llewyn, it becomes repetition. And for Callum, it becomes performance. 3 different forms of escape and self-destruction. What makes these characters so compelling is not their suffering itself, but their recognizability. Cinema has always been fascinated by men in pain, but often that pain is represented through outward explosions.
I don't think so. When you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash, the police, I'll tell you what you get. Call the police. You get what you fucking deserve.
But these films offer something quieter, and perhaps something more truthful. Men who implode. They break themselves. Men who do not scream. Men who disappear into routine, isolation, and silence. And maybe that is why so many people recognize themselves in them. Not because these men are aspirational, but because they reflect a reality that still exists. A world where many men are taught to endure pain, but are never taught to express it. And maybe that's why the It's Literally Me movement is so popular among young men, because it shows them this way out. It shows you that you can break the cycle. While the films that we just mentioned may have been more realistic, the It's Literally Me films are meant to be something that gives men hope. Hope that they can break the cycle. In the end, Men Who Don't Speak is not about silence as absence. It is about silence as containment, and the devastating consequences of what happens when that containment is never broken.